Go, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Yo, bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me. Niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
Water, earth, fire, and air. These are the four elements of the great nations of this world. Each land having a being who can utilize their own elements to better their life or destroy that of others. The Avatar was a being who defended the people. Their spirit guided the world to peace many times. However, since the Fourth Great War began, the spirit of the Avatar had seemed to vanish. The last Avatar was a known earthbender. Genji was his name. He was alive before the war began, when there was peace, as he died of old age. So that meant a new Avatar should have been born in the land of fire. But that was the problem. That was the nation that began the Fourth Great War, as they now have access to the Avatar. Even if they don't know who it is, just knowing the Avatar is among their people gives them an advantage in the war. Our first true look at how this world is when the Fire Nation was laying siege on a sound village. They were being pushed back until one person is seen walking towards them. You losers look like you could use some backup. This is where we see Naruto Uzumaki, a prodigy firebender who left the academy at an early age to fight on the front lines as a backup squad. Naruto, you're here. That means the backup squad made it just in time, right? What? Who told you that? Naruto, you're the commander of the backup squad. Where are they? Why are you here alone? Oh yeah, I told them to take the day off if they want to. I just want to get some action in. You only need me to win the battle anyway. What type of benders are we up against? Demand and size. Each element. Waterbenders, even firebenders, and earthbenders. Oh, no airbenders? No. Not too bad then. But still looks like there's a lot of them. Well, you guys have been getting your asses handed to you, so I'll save you the trouble and the paperwork. Naruto flips into the trees and begins running forward towards the base. The men call him crazy, but the main commander, who Naruto was talking about, sits back down. Don't waste your breath. It's out of our hands now. What do you mean, Commander Ebisu? We must help him. He's just a child soldier. You new recruits don't know anything about the Blue Demon. The Blue Demon? I thought that was a legend we made up to scare the enemy nations. No. You've just seen him. That child is the Blue Demon. His flames, well, they should give that away. He was raised by the Fire Lord himself, Danzo, as one of his adopted children and was trained as a warrior since birth. His flames do not show mercy to his opponents. Naruto was now seen flipping onto some destroyed rubble while looking down at his opponents. Let's see. The boy then begins counting while dodging the elements flawlessly. There's about 40 of you in total, if I'm counting the weaklings who died before I got here. Alright, I'm ready. No need to hold back. Let's get started. Naruto begins the battle, but we wouldn't get to see it, as he would go deep into the base and rips the ropes off of Orochimaru, who he was sent to rescue. Well, the Blue Demon graces my presence once again. Yeah. Did you find whatever you were looking for? I did indeed. Good, now let's move. I kinda want to spend my birthday in other ways than fighting. They walk out of the base, with Naruto leading him. Orochimaru notices the brutality of this child. Body parts were scattered and torched around the area, as you could truly see the type of warrior Naruto is in this timeline. They make it back to the Fire Nation, where Danzo thanks Naruto for his work. He leaves the blazing room and heads into the streets, where many people respect him and call him even a hero. Naruto goes to eat at the ramen shop when he hears someone say his name. He turns around to see Sasuke Uchiha, his second in command. The two sit for lunch, as Sasuke tells him in a couple weeks they'll have another mission together. The boys begin to get excited about this, as Naruto asked how his training was going. Sasuke tells him it's going great. And then someone else comes into the restaurant. Kiba challenges Naruto in front of everyone to an Agni Kai for the position of leader. Everyone turns around shocked, as Naruto could only smirk while still eating. Well, I'll see you in a couple hours then. Before the sun begins to set, many are seated in the arena where the Agni Kai was going to take place. The two combatants then step up, and it begins. Kiba is wild like a dog, but Naruto's movements are refined and precise. He doesn't even use his flames at the beginning. He moves around Kiba with ease until he sees the face of Danzo. His father seemed unsatisfied with the way that he was fighting, as this would completely change Naruto to a different person. His flames then push Kiba to the ground. Please, show me mercy. Asking another for mercy declares you yourself as weak, and the Fire Nation does not need weaklings on the battlefield, let alone in my squad. Naruto kills Kiba in front of everyone, as they would begin to cheer for him. He only looks to Danzo for approval, who would nod, as later that night Naruto enters the room of Danzo, bowing to him. Naruto. Yes, Lord Danzo. You are like my own son. I've raised you since you were born, since your father and mother had died from an illness. You've grown a lot, as I wish to disclose with you some important information. What you learn can never be told to anyone else outside of this room. Yes, Father. Your next mission will be very vital to you becoming the next Fire Lord of our nation. All of the artifacts being kept at the location of your next mission must be destroyed. They are held within a specific tower that also must be destroyed, alongside those who guard it and those within it. Be ready, as they may try to deceive you with their tricks and hypnosis. But do not let them work on you. Until you leave for your next mission, you will train non-stop in preparation for it. Yes, Father. Good. Now get some rest tonight, as hell shall begin tomorrow. Naruto trains for weeks with barely any food or sleep. His strength grows immensely as he feeds off his emotions to produce his flames. The Konoha 12 is the main force in the backup unit, and they are led by Naruto and Sasuke. Danzo takes them to the facility where their main leader is in. Instantly, all of them notice how cold it is. They walk around to a lower level, seeing it's even colder, and look through a glass window. They look down on the main floor to see Naruto meditating in the freezing cold with nothing but pants on. The room was so cold, ice could be seen inside. They would then watch as Naruto stands, and with just one stomp, all the ice in the room turned into steam. He then walks out, seeing his team, with the girls on it, noticing how much muscle he's gained, making them flustered, but they would still all bow to him. Wait a minute, we're missing someone, right? Sakura tells Naruto that he killed Kiba. Naruto then wipes his face with the towel. Oh yeah, I forgot. Alright, Lord Danzo, I'll be heading out with my team now. Danzo would nod to Naruto, and the group begins their journey to the land of waves. They travel via airship and make it right above the land of waves. Alright, let's see. I'll come up with a plan really quick. Shikamaru, Hinata, and Ino. You all stay in the ship. You'll be our eyes in the sky. Everyone else, you're on the ground with me. I'll take down that tower myself. You just make sure no one interferes with me. They all nod and Naruto jumps out of the airship, crashing down below, with each of his members following in very close. He then slams a flag in the middle of the town, claiming it for the Fire Nation. This is where Gato and his men come from the shadows. We know you'd be coming here, Blue Demon. A bunch of benders then surround Naruto and his group. But this wouldn't be enough, as he would only say, "Take care of them. I'm heading to the tower." The battle then begins, but Naruto casually walks with his hands in his pockets until Zabuza points his blade at his neck. Another blade is then held by Sasuke, who appears. "Get your filthy blade away from my captain." Their battle would then begin, as Naruto makes it to the tower quite easily, and he takes down the guards on the outside as they were pretty old. He then kills them, remembering what Danzo said. Good. Now, I can go inside. As he walks in there was no stair to the top, as there seemed to be nothing up there. It was just a tall built tower. But Naruto was thinking, what is this odd sensation? Have I been here before? For some reason, Naruto is drawn to the corner of the room where he stomps hard enough to break the floor, revealing a secret staircase that goes down. Pretty clever. But what's really down here? Naruto then uses his blue flames to illuminate the dark basement-like area as he finds a chest in the center of the room. This must be what I came here for. Naruto wonders if he should just burn it before he opens it, but his curiosity gets the best of him as he opens it and finds children's toys and also other random items. What the hell? Did he really send me here to burn some toys? Naruto then picks one of them up. Well, that's quite interesting you picked up that one, since it isn't a toy, as that's something that belonged to me. It's a jewel of the Fire Nation. It was given to me by an old friend. Naruto turns with his flames at the ready to burn whoever was speaking. Show yourself. Out from the shadows would come a strange blue smoke that forms into Avatar Roku. Wait a minute. I know who you are. You're Avatar Roku. But how can I see you? You're supposed to be dead. Well, it seems it still hasn't clicked in your mind yet. How do you think you were able to find this place with no prior knowledge of it? It's because you've been here before, in a previous life. You are the Avatar Naruto. Naruto then jumps back, trying to punch flames at Roku, but they're deflected away. You must save the world from the tyranny and destruction of the Fire Nation. What are you talking about? The Fire Nation is saving the world from itself. Order must be established in order for peace to happen. That is not the truth. That is what you are led on to believe. Let me show you. No. Naruto slams his hands on the ground, causing the entire tower to then go up in flames. Naruto walks out perfectly fine, but he seems to be astonished. Could I really be the Avatar? No. It's just as my father said. It's an illusion. I just need to finish my mission. The Konoha 12 gets the Land of Waves under their control and then head back to the Land of Fire. Naruto was still trying to process what he saw before having to report his mission. Days go by, and then they return as Naruto heads to the palace of Danzo. After walking in, he would kneel. How did it go? Smoothly. All threats were killed, and the towers burned to nothing but ashes. Good. Did you have any difficulties with the men guarding the tower? No, not at all. They were great firebenders, but they were old. Their movements were too slow, and that was their demise. Good, my son. That is all. You may leave. Lord Danzo, about the tower. Danzo then slightly turns his head so that Naruto could see one of his eyes. What about it? It was destroyed, was it not? Yes, but not just the tower. One of the men said, it was constructed by the Avatar. So why did we have to burn it down? The Avatar that did that was a dishonorable man, my son. We must not let his past coincide with our future. Naruto nods and leaves the room. He goes off on his own, trying to figure out if he was the Avatar. It didn't make sense to him at all. Could that be why he was a firebending prodigy? Naruto needed answers and needed them quickly, but he couldn't let Danzo know what he was doing. And what did Roku mean when they spoke? Naruto goes to his usual resting spot where no one else would go, as he would lay in his hammock. The wind had such a gentle breeze and allowed him to find peace and fall asleep easily. Naruto was then forced to watch the memories of his past lives. He sees the 100-year war of Avatar Aang and what it caused. He sees the wars and constant battles that Avatar Korra would have to go through. And he sees how people didn't like the Avatar after that, and Genji struggled to make it once a great name again. But Naruto wakes up in a cold sweat. Was that all true? Or was that just another hypnotic trance that he was put under from going into that tower? What could this all really mean? He looks around, still seeing no one, as he must have not been asleep for that long. As he would sit down, and he meditates, an avatar spirit forms in front of him, as this time it is not Roku. It's Korra. So, you're the avatar after Genji. Nice. What seems to be troubling your spirit? Am I really the avatar? Don't be silly, kid. Of course you are. If you can summon me like this, then you're an avatar. No doubt about it. Naruto then explains his life to Korra, as she would sit there for a moment. I understand. It's not going to be easy as an avatar. Trust me, I know. I've made my mistakes. You're still pretty young, so make the call yourself. As a past avatar, I'll advise you on what you should do based on what I know and what I've been through. But never forget, you're the one with the power. You make the decisions, not the past lives. Go out into the world. Explore. You haven't seen much of it, but do not go as Naruto Uzumaki, the Blue Demon, but under a new name, and live as a regular citizen, oppressed by the Fire Nation, and see if they really are helping the people. Then you'll be able to make a decision. Korra vanishes with the wind, and Naruto opens his eyes. He goes to Danzo's palace, telling him he's heading out on a scouting mission alone, and he goes to a land controlled by the Fire Nation. Naruto dyes his hair black to go undercover and changes his name. He walks around noticing nothing out of the ordinary, but he bumps into a fire soldier who was patrolling. He then pushes him to the ground. Stay out of my way, brat. Naruto gets up, crushing his fists together, ready to use his own bending at the man, but an older man then stops him. Excuse my son. The man then pulls Naruto into a house with two other kids and a woman, as he has to tell the kid to be careful. I know how to handle myself. Why are you hiding from the fire soldiers? Don't they help the people? The woman in there would chuckle. Where did you hear that? They enslave the people of this town and make them work hard every day without rest. If you can bend an element, you'll get it way worse. So it's best you keep that fire of yours concealed. How did you... Well, I used to be somewhat of a warrior myself. Naruto nods and stays with the family for a while, as they would offer their hospitality to the boy, since he has nowhere else to go. One night during dinner, they began to talk about the Avatar, as Naruto would speak up. If the Avatar was around, would you expect him or her to save the world from the Fire Nation? The family completely agrees, as is the job of an Avatar to balance the world. His kids then begin to talk about the past avatars and their stories. However, the father reminds them that each great avatar had an amazing teacher of each element to help them. Hearing this, Naruto wondered if he could even betray the people he loved. The family that he has now, he would have to disregard all of it. Naruto departs from the land, saying he will bring back the avatar one day for them. They call the boy crazy as he leaves, and Naruto returns to the Fire Nation, where each night he has a vision of his past life. Naruto is then told by Danzo that an attack on the Air Nation will be the next, as they will be the next ones taken down. Even though they are very peaceful, they're a threat to this war. It'll be an example for the rest of the great nations. This conflicts Naruto, as he has to meditate once again. Over the last couple of weeks, he's talked to many avatars, but this is our first time seeing him contact Avatar Aang. Well, hello there, Naruto. Avatar Aang, I wanted you to be the first out of all of them to hear my decision. I'm going to save the world from the Fire Nation, as I'm going to travel to the Southern Air Temple that floats above a desert wasteland. Aang smiles. Thank you, Naruto. There, you will find an airbending master. But you must move fast. Naruto nods and thanks Avatar Aang. That night, he heads to a building where the airships for that battle are being kept and manufactured. An explosion then goes off, and the Konoha 12 are dispatched to that area. Sasuke is the first to make it down into the facility, where he sees the blue demon mask on Naruto. Wait, Naruto, that's you. Why? This is just how things have to be, Sasuke. No, tell me why, Naruto. Sasuke takes a step towards him, but blue flames are sent directly at him. Sasuke dodges and another explosion goes off inside. Before the building goes up in flames, Naruto knocks Sasuke out and gets him to safety. He looks down at Sasuke, wondering if he should just end it now, but he spares him. Sorry, Sasuke, but I'll be leaving this place. It's my duty to help the world. Our paths will now forever be divided. Naruto heads out with a hood over his head, and after weeks of travel, he makes it to the land of Wind, where the Southern Air Temple floated above the sand into the clouds. However, it would be much harder to get into it, as it was so high up. Naruto tried to ascend higher with his flames at his feet, but falls down from the skies, once entering the clouds. Damn it, I have to get up there. But just why can't I? Naruto slams his hands down into the sand, creating flames that shoot up all around him. He lays down there, looking up at the clouds. Come on, I should be able to get up there somehow. Naruto tries for another week, but makes no progress. He has to make it soon, because his supplies are running thin. A couple days would pass, as Naruto wakes up to the sound of a beast roaring out, as it sounded like it was in pain. He looks around, seeing the beast on the ground as it's tied down and is being dragged away. Naruto goes that way and asks the men what they were doing. They tell him that they're going to sell it to the Fire Nation and even make clothes out of it, as it was their mission to capture a sky bison. I can't let you leave. Before the men could even speak, Naruto kills each of them and unties the beast. The sky bison was weak and it looked starved. Damn it. I really need this. Naruto looks at his food, but then looks at the weak creature and knows that the creature needs to go back up into the clouds. I need this, but it seems you need it way more than I do. Here. Naruto pours the rest of his food into its mouth, and then once it swallows it, it pours the water as well. Naruto then lays against it, looking up into the clouds. Man, this really is a drag. Shikamaru in the Fire Nation then sneezes. We go back to Naruto, as morning would soon arrive, and Naruto is woken up by the sky bison pushing him over as it begins to lick his face, recognizing him as the one who saved him. Get off of me already. Naruto then turns, feeling the presence of someone else as he sees a girl with blonde hair. What are you doing with my sky bison? Naruto then stands up. Oh, he's yours. You gotta take better care of him. The Fire Nation soldiers, we're going to sell him. Naruto is then sent flying by the girl who we now know is an airbender. What the hell was that for? The girl then continues to attack Naruto, but he dodges as much as he can. You're a part of the Fire Nation, so I cannot trust your words, and I must protect my home. Just wait a minute. She then stops, watching Naruto kneel. There's a reason I'm here. I came to ask for your help. I fled from the Fire Nation. Why? Because I learned that I needed to be the one to save the world. As if, from what I've seen, you couldn't even beat any of my masters. Just listen to me for a second. Take me to them, so I can convince them to train me. Why should they train someone from the Fire Nation? You know only an avatar can master multiple elements, you idiot. I am the avatar. The girl then steps back, looking at him. Naruto is then sent flying in the air, and the girl hops on the sky bison, leaving Naruto in the sandy wasteland. Damn it. I knew she'd leave. Alright, then I'll have to try to get back up there. It shouldn't be that hard. I've stocked up a little bit of energy, so I should be able to get up there in a couple more tries. But how am I going to get through those thick clouds? Tamari would fly back up to the air temple, and she goes to her master and grandfather. Ah, there you are, my granddaughter. Master Milo. So, you found your sky bison. But Appa looks upset at you. The large beast would knock over Tamari, who sighs. I wasn't the one to find him. He was saved by a firebender, claiming he wants to seek training here. Milo would be surprised at this. That would mean he believes he's the Avatar. I will see to it and judge him myself. No, grandfather. I wish to come with you. Milo smirks, and the two hop on Appa. They fly down to see that Naruto was already fighting. He was pushing back a small militia of Fire Nation soldiers. Tamari goes to jump down and help, but Milo stops him. No, I wish to see how he fights first. Our people are peaceful. We are not warriors, unless pushed to do so. They watch as Naruto kills each of them without a second thought, and then they see a small hot air balloon as Naruto holds 2 fingers out, sending lightning that blows it up. Milo then jumps down as Naruto shields his eyes from sand and looks towards the old man. You're an airbender, aren't you? I am indeed. What makes you believe that you are the Avatar? Do you have any proof? Or can you show me another element besides fire? Naruto then tosses the man a scroll, and when he opens it, it transforms into every item that any Avatar has ever cared for. Even Aang's glider was there. It must be fate that I'd run into my own descendant. How have you been, Milo? This was Aang speaking through Naruto. The older man then hugs Naruto while crying, and Tamari would land near them with Appa. They all would then get on Appa, with Milo looking towards Naruto. Out of the 2 avatars I've seen in battle, you are the most threatening. I suppose it is because you grew up in the Fire Nation. Who is your father? Danzo Shimura, the Fire Lord. Tamari and Milo then look back before sighing. That explains a lot. I will teach you as much as I can. The Avatar must work to master all 4 of the elements before they are able to bring peace. Naruto nods and looks forward to seeing the Southern Air Temple. As they land, a crowd of people then surround him. They all look shocked to see a Fire Nation soldier, as Naruto would take off his royal shirt. as this is when they see the blue demon mask that was on his waist. He bows to the people. I've already done too many bad things to be redeemed. I know I've killed airbenders as well as many others who did not deserve it. The least I can do is help end this war and fulfill my destiny as an avatar. Naruto leaves his things near the edge and goes off. He enters the home of Milo and a younger man who was there as well. Milo then introduces his younger brother, Rohan. Naruto's training would immediately begin after, as it starts with meditation. Through this, Naruto was able to somewhat calm his vengeful spirit. However, as he continues to make contact with Korra and Aang who help him with his training, he finds it quite difficult. But he would also meet the other brother of Temari, Gaara, who was already an airbending master, as he had his tattoos before he was a preteen. He had also discovered a new form, or rediscovered a new form of airbending, sandbending. He also had no attachments to this world, so he could fly as well, as he mastered many lost abilities of their people. Naruto's training with Gaara would be a little more strict, as he had to try a lot harder here. Months of this would pass, as one night Naruto was awoken by his nightmares of his previous life. Then, screams and begging voices are heard in his head of those he's killed, as it would haunt his mind. It causes him to go to the edge of the air temple and meditate. Naruto is able to push his evil memories away, but his meditation is broken. He looks to his left to see the blue mask alongside his old clothing. This causes him to summon Avatar Roku. Seems you are in need, my young avatar. Yes, I'm troubled by my past. I was by no means a good person, and I feel as if I won't be able to change into a peacemaker. Let go of it, Naruto. It will be hard to face your friends and family in combat, but it must be done for the greater good. Come, let me show you something. Roku takes Naruto on his own journey of his life and what caused another war. It was all due to his ignorance. After leaving this spirit realm, Naruto looks to his clothing and burns it with tears in his eyes. He notices the mask cannot be burned, so he throws it off of the temple. He then trains with the air nomads for almost a year, and so they would get word that the Fire Nation is making their push on their lands. A couple days later, we see an air fleet against the Southern Air Temple. Naruto warns the rest of them and goes out. He grabs his own glider and jumps off the edge. He's seen flying above and then lands on one of the ships. He sneaks inside and takes all the benders down. He then turns the ship into another one, causing an explosion as he would jump out of the window with his glider, but is shot at by many other firebenders and ships. He then hides in the clouds and lands back on the air temple. Naruto watches Gaara walk from under his tree, since he lives outside, and he takes off his hood. I truly wish they wouldn't have come on such a beautiful day. He raises his hands as all the ships in front of them then have sand spikes that would pierce right through them, causing them to explode. The men would then jump out with parachutes, but Milo and Rohan go in taking care of them, as they would be proud of everyone who helped. Later that day, Naruto is nowhere to be found, except for when Temari finds him with Gaara. She notes his small bag and his glider. Naruto then turns to her. I'm leaving. I wish to bring no more harm to this beautiful temple. I've got the basics down for airbending, and I think I can move on to another element. Temari then thinks about it, and thinks about her memories with Naruto, as she would decide to go with him. I'm only going with you so you can use Appa to travel faster. Thanks. Yeah, whatever. Milo and Rohan are then told that the two of them are departing, as they would give a parting gift to Naruto. It was his own custom robes made by the air nomads. The sun then begins to set as the two ride on the back of the sky bison, leaving the southern air temple. So, Avatar, where's our next destination? Well, you said I still need more training in air, so let's focus on that before I begin a new element. However, I want to free a place that I helped the Fire Nation claim. She nods as the two would travel, while avoiding the Fire Nation. Appa lands on a mountain not too far away from this town, and Naruto looks down at it. I need to do this alone. It was my fault that they're in this situation, so I'll be the one to help them. She nods, leaving him to it, and Naruto throws on an orange hood over his head. He uses airbending to then flash step closer to the town and looks down on it from a tree. He would land in the center of the town, with the fire soldier coming straight up to him. Fire was sent at Naruto, who used air to create a shield and deflect it onto the ground. The firebenders regrouped around this hooded bender, as they would all shoot flames, but Naruto vanishes, allowing all of them to clash with one another. Each bender is then knocked out and tied up by Naruto. He goes to the camp, and he frees all the benders who were held captive as slaves, telling them that their land is now freed, as it would be best if they migrated to a new land, as the Fire Nation will come back. The people thank Naruto, trying to give him gifts, but he tells them he's not deserving of it. Nothing he does can correct or justify his actions of the past. He only wishes to help the world now. They still thank the unknown airbender, who vanishes, and Naruto uses his glider to get back on the mountaintop. And Temari would ask him, "You ready to go already?" "Yeah, let's head to the Northern Air Temple." "Wait, why there?" "Long ago I was told by my father that they possess knowledge of each element that could be very valuable to us. We also need more allies, and since you are of the Southern Air Temple, I believe we should reunite all airbenders to help face down the Fire Nation." Temari nods, and the two would head that way. As they fly, Naruto asks more about Temari's past. "Well, there were 3 of us, me, Gaara, and Kankuro." Naruto notes how he never met Kankuro, but she continues. "He was the oldest, but was killed in battle. A firebending woman with pink hair showed him no mercy on the battlefield. After this is when Gaara detached himself from the world." "Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. My elder brother was an amazing person, and I will be the one to defeat the girl that killed my brother. I will bring her to justice before the Southern Air Temple." "So you're gonna kill her?" "No. To kill her is to throw away everything that my people stand for. That will be the last option." The two then stop in several towns, liberating them and making a new name for Naruto as the Avatar. The word of the Avatar makes it back to the Fire Nation, where we see Danzo and his new son bowing before him. Sasuke Uchiha was seen training in the very same palace that Naruto grew up in, with the best firebenders who were available. His flames were fierce and powerful. Rage is the only thing that could be seen on his face since his leader betrayed him. It was such a stab in the back, because since the two grew up together, they were always rivals, brothers. They did everything together. Naruto was even there to pick Sasuke back onto his feet after his own brother, flesh and blood, betrayed the Fire Nation. But no more. Each of them will pay. The only thing Sasuke wishes to do is kill the Avatar and then his older brother. The next step in Naruto's journey takes him to the Northern Air Temple in the Land of Lightning. Storms raged on constantly, but here the air nomads had grown to adapt it. The group barely makes it into the Northern Air Temple. As Naruto arrived, he was greeted by a boy who was about his age as well. He begins to rap, introducing himself as Killer B. "So, you're an airbender." "No, you fool. But I can still ride the wind just like you." "Alright. Can you help us find the leader of this place?" Killer B then smirks and leads the two to a training ground. To meet Big Bro, you'll have to go through me. Naruto sighs, looking at Temari. Alright, I'll fight you on equal grounds. Naruto pulls out a katana, but Killer Bee sighs. Sorry, but that's a disadvantage to you. But I'll allow it until you realize it's true. Naruto then rushes in at Killer Bee, who disarms him without even pulling out his own sword. Naruto is then defeated but gets right back up. This time, he closes his fists and blue flames shoot out towards Killer Bee. Temari goes to interfere, but a larger man with blonde hair would stop her. She looks on amazed, watching the boy pull out 8 blades and uses them all to deflect the flames. Naruto rushes in at Killer Bee, who would dance around him with ease. Temari calls this impossible, but the Raikage smirks. Even though my younger brother was not blessed by the element of air, he was blessed with a separate gift. Out of all the non-benders I've confronted across the world, no one compares to him and his genius. Temari watches on as Naruto was cut over and over by the blades, but this does no real damage other than making Naruto angry. Temari can see this and gets a little worried, remembering how Naruto used to be, knowing that he still has that other side within him. But she watches as Naruto stops himself and puts his hand behind his head. Damn, I guess you beat me this time. Out of all the people I've fought so far, you seem to be the strongest. Of course I am, you fool. I have a question for you. My team needs someone like you fighting by our side against the Fire Nation. So why not join me on my journey to learn the elements? The Raikage looks down at Temari. Why the hell would someone from the Fire Nation want to fight his own people? Before Temari could get the words out, Killer Bee then shouts out, Naruto is the Avatar. The larger man then walks over to Naruto, looking down at him. I was the one who taught the last Avatar how to airbend. He was a klutz and heavy-footed. His feet were glued to the ground, but this was only natural since he was born an earthbender. Being born a firebender, you will have an immense passion for battle and learning how to do it in different ways. Remember to never let that consume you. Well, is there anything else that I could help you with? Temari and Naruto then explain what they want to do, and this leads to her giving the Raikage her amulet. Once you arrive at the Southern Air Temple, give that to Master Milo. This will be all the proof you need. He nods and gives the group supplies for their long journey, with a map as well. Killer Bee tells them that they should head southwest to make it to the Southern Water Tribe. This way Naruto can begin to learn waterbending. Temari then explains that she doesn't believe Naruto is adept enough in airbending, so they'll take a couple detours first. In one of the towns, they go to the capital, where a checkpoint was set up. Airships, weaponry, and so much more was here. The three scouted the land for a couple days, and Naruto was the one to figure out who was in charge of this area. Shikamaru, his old strategist. This won't be an easy operation, seeing as it may require way more than just firepower. Naruto begins to head back, but falls into a trap that leads him to be captured, but he also allows it. Shikamaru then appears, after being told a traitor was in their possession. What a drag. Now I'll have to do even more paperwork. Naruto is then taken to an area where it's freezing cold, even colder than when he trains. Not only that, but it's also completely closed off from the rest of the world. Temari and Killer Bee would now have to make a plan to help him escape. But before they could, they needed to figure out how else they would take down this capital. Many nights pass, and Naruto is finally visited by Shikamaru. Why did you betray us? I had to. No. What was the reason? It was because I learned who I really am. I'm the Avatar. Shikamaru steps back, laughing. No wonder you were always in a league of your own. Sorry, Naruto, but you of all people know orders are orders. Yeah, I do. Before Shikamaru could leave this room, Naruto then used airbending to blast both of them through the door. Now on the outside, Feeling his flames returning, he burned through the metal shackles that were holding him still. Shikamaru sends flames down the hall, but Naruto shot through it, pushing him through the building. Chaos then begins as Naruto fights his way out of the building and makes it to a factory where the rebels and benders would slave away. Naruto enters and then forges the building shut with his firebending. Who are you? I've come to liberate this capital. Kid, you're crazy. They begin to tell Naruto that it's impossible. They're surrounded. No. Trust in your power as a bender. Let me lead you to salvation. They look at Naruto, and for some reason begin to trust the boy while listening to his words. He gives a long speech, which fires them up. The fire soldiers then finally break through the door to see everyone still working. They question where the boy went, but then metal benders used their own armor that they were wearing to chain them together. Earthbenders then created a wall around them as Naruto jumped out using air to send them straight through it, knocking them out. Alright, let's go. Everyone leaves the workshop and Naruto would turn around. No, first this needs to be destroyed. An explosion goes off in another workshop not too far from his own location, as we would now see Killer Bee running from rooftop to rooftop, cutting down firebenders. Naruto would smirk, turning his head to the other side to see Temari taking down some as well. This caused Naruto to begin laughing. Man, this team stuff, I missed it. After doing so, he destroys the facility and heads back to where many of the others were being overwhelmed. Naruto jumped into action as fast as he could, as many battles were taking place on the rooftop and on the ground. Naruto was then confronted by Shikamaru and Ino. They call him a traitor, but he still ignores it. Then the words of Avatar Roku flow through his mind as he dances around his former allies. The two of them knew that taking down Naruto would be no easy task. Not at all. Naruto dodged their flames and then told them that it's over. The two still persist, but Naruto was unmatched. Naruto then kicks him into the air and then uses airbending to send Ino flying through multiple buildings. Naruto would once again dodge the flames of Shikamaru and then punched him in his chest, causing him to then kneel, but then he's kneed in the chin. Shikamaru looks up at Naruto admitting defeat, and Naruto nods, getting up. Shikamaru then gets back up once again, remembering words that Naruto told him. Always finish the job, and never turn your back to an enemy that's still alive. Naruto's eyes widen as Shikamaru then shoots flames towards him as Naruto would sidestep and do the same. Shikamaru's life would flash before his eyes as the blue flames consume him. An explosion would then follow as well. Naruto sighs, heading back to the meeting point, and he meets with the freed captives. They say their plans are to return to their own cities. Naruto wishes them luck in their travels, but they also ask who he is. Temari and Killer Bee were already on Appa and watched as Naruto declares himself the Avatar to the world. The people cheer and tell the group of teens will let the world know. Naruto thanks them and jumps on the back of Appa. Alright, let's go. They fly off from the area, and days later, Shikamaru is found, barely alive, with heavy burns and scars all over his body. The one who found him was Sasuke. This only infuriates him more. Damn you, Naruto. After getting Shikamaru to the hospital, Sasuke goes out on a hunt for the Avatar. He takes Sakura and a fleet of fire soldiers with him. Danzo tells his new son that the Avatar may be going to the Southern Water Tribe to learn waterbending. Sasuke nods and heads that way as well. Meanwhile, Naruto and Killer Bee were getting along as if they were lifelong friends. Temari hated this because the two would never shut up. On their way towards the Southern Water Tribe, Naruto learns even more about airbending and is right under Temari in terms of efficiency, as this was good because he was now on pace to learn the elements very quickly, but it would all depend on how long he would take to learn the element of water. This will be his most difficult element, since he was born a firebender, but learning air first might have been a good starter, because it calmed his raging spirit just a little bit. They arrive at the front gates, asking the waterbenders to let them in, as they would respond asking what their business is here. Naruto explains that he seeks the teaching of the moon spirit. They open the ice doors and Appa swims inside. Many greet them, and Naruto is asked to start immediately. He's then taken to the leader and walks in the room to see Mei, a tall, beautiful woman with ginger-like hair. "So, you're the Avatar. Pretty late on doing your job, don't you think?" Naruto apologizes and explains his origins to the woman. She lays back in her chair and sighs. "Training in waterbending is going to take a lot of work, especially for you, a firebender. Luckily, I had a feeling you were coming, and I've already made preparations, so let's get started." Naruto goes off with the woman, and she begins his training. Even after a whole month, Naruto has made no real progress in waterbending. The most he could do was lift water into the air from only a small cup. With such limited time, Naruto needed to work faster, so he would meditate and summon an avatar who he believed who could help him. Avatar Kuruk appeared to Naruto, asking what was troubling him. Naruto explained his difficulty in waterbending, and Kuruk would smile. "How do I put this? You were trying to manipulate and utilize the water. It's not like other elements that are available at all times. Water requires the proper pipes to flow through in the body in order to be released. Right now, you are blocking the water by not fundamentally understanding how it moves and not understanding the water itself. Study the moon spirit and learn more about the element. Study the natural tides of the water so you can see their movement firsthand. And finally, take interest in the culture around you that the waterbenders have kept going for centuries." Naruto thanked the avatar who was in front of him before he vanished. He then stands up looking towards the moon and meditating in its light. Days go by as Naruto does not move from this spot. He only feels the world around him. During this time is when Mei introduces a young waterbending prodigy, the Team Avatar, Suigetsu. He hangs around Temari and Killer Bee, helping them train and giving them tours of the city while Naruto was also training. Another week goes by, and Mei goes to the spot where Naruto was seen meditating to see that he was gone. She was shocked and begins looking around for the Avatar, and eventually finds him on top of their tallest building. He was mimicking the ocean that he could see over the ice walls. The next morning, there were reports of Fire Nation ships on the horizon. However, they were in the water. Naruto, hearing this, looked towards the ocean, seeing them get pretty close. He then uses his air glider and jumps on the back of Appa, who was already in the air. What's the plan? Killer Bee then explains what the Water Tribe will do in their job to slow down as many ships as they can, and they need to have their own plan to do so as well. The three jump down from the skies as Appa flies away and would land on one of the ships. Firebenders begin to attack them, but Team Avatar responds. Naruto jumps over the flames, shooting down his own. Killer Bee dodges the flames and cuts through the armor of the soldiers with his blade. Temari simply deflects them with airbending and sends them flying into the water below that is freezing cold. They head into the main corridor of the ship and take control after defeating the benders inside. Temari and Naruto defend Killer Bee as he steers the ship, crashing it into another. Watching this happen, Sasuke Uchiha flew to that boat with flames below his feet. Team Avatar was escaping on Appa, but flames rushed at them. Naruto then split the flames with his own and told them to get out of here. He'll catch up to them. The two flew off on the Sky Bison, looking down at Naruto, who was ready to face his opponent. The two walk around in a circle, each with their guard up. "You're a traitor. just like my brother. Both of you deserve to die by my hand alone." Naruto stayed silent, and then dodged the flames of Sakura. "You too, huh? I should have expected no less from this duo." Naruto slowly twists and turns to dodge each of their flames. Sasuke gets in close, landing a strike to Naruto's side, but the boy counters, landing his own to the neck of Sasuke. Naruto expected this to knock him out, but it only angered the Uchiha. That petty trick won't work again. Flames then burst from the mouth of Sasuke. But Naruto ducks under, sweeping his legs. He then grabs Sasuke by the collar, holding a fist above his head. "Do it. End me, Naruto. Kill me." Naruto instead grabs Sasuke and throws him into Sakura, who is running at him. Naruto then walks off and prepares to jump onto another ship, as the voice of Sasuke would stop him. "You're a weakling now. You gave up on us. You left us for what? Just to die in the future by my hand?" Naruto would sigh, not even turning around. "I wish I could make you understand, but you won't. It seems we were never truly friends, because if we had been friends, true friends that is, no path I chose would turn you against me." Hearing these cold words, essentially from his brother, causes Sasuke to get up as he begins shaking with rage. And in this moment, he shoots lightning towards Naruto. Time began to slow down as Naruto would counter the lightning with his own, but the explosion was still pretty close to him, and it reached him, doing damage to his body, but also sending him into the freezing water below. Sasuke would then laugh, saying he killed Naruto, until he watched one of the ships be completely submerged underwater. Naruto rises up with swirling water below his feet, with his eyes glowing alongside his whiskers. Using the water around him, he pushed back the ships with a huge wave, almost like a tsunami. Right after this is when Naruto began to fall from the sky, but his arm was grabbed by Killer Bee as he then pulls him on to Appa, and Temari flies him back into the frozen city. Naruto wakes up, asking what happened, but he was told that he used waterbending to defeat the fleet of ships. Naruto remarks how that's impossible, but Mei would then explain to the Avatar that he used the Avatar state. Hearing this, Naruto wondered why this was the first time that it ever happened. He's been in danger like that plenty of times, but why would it activate when he fell into water? He was still curious, and then he remembered something. He can't swim. This caused Naruto to laugh out loud to himself, with many staring at him, as Mei would then remark how he doesn't have much time, so he needs to keep going. It will be best for Naruto and his friends to prepare to leave. Naruto nods, and the group spends 2 more weeks there before they would depart. However, before they leave, another member would join their team. Suigetsu decides to accompany the Avatar and teach him waterbending. He would leave with waterbending scrolls, and the group flies off. They would go now to the Land of Stone, heading to find Naruto an earthbending teacher. Killer Bee notes that the fastest way to go is to cross straight over the Land of Fire, but Naruto says that that's too risky, as he needs to take time to learn waterbending. The group then agrees, as they fly along the islands in the southwest to give Naruto more time to learn waterbending. Months would pass, as Naruto becomes an amateur waterbender. It wasn't much, but it was something. Learning waterbending always proved difficult, and it didn't help that Suigetsu's teachings made no sense to Naruto, who was used to strict instructions. Eventually the group would make it to the backside of the Stone Kingdom, and once inside, they realized that it was heavily fortified in each district. Killer Bee then notes that it used to be known as Ba Sing Se, but it evolved into the Stone Kingdom that they see today. Naruto walks around, not even knowing what this place was. It felt so surreal to Naruto. It was peace. There was no real violence here, and it actually showed. This allowed him to train at his own pace. He felt comfortable in this type of situation. This benefited Naruto as his air and waterbending greatly improved. The true war seemed to just be on the horizon, as many nations had came to an agreement for an alliance against the Fire Nation. But taking over each nation couldn't be their only goal. The Fire Lord had to have something else in his plans. They just didn't know what it was. Eventually, after 2 months of training, Naruto would seek out an earthbending teacher. This was his final step in truly becoming the Avatar. Mastering earthbending, Naruto walks around the Stone Kingdom and hears about the underground tournaments. He would attend one, but none of the benders would stick out to him as a great teacher. He would leave this arena and go out into the night, just to see if he could find another bender that could teach him. Naruto then gets bored and gets on a rooftop. This is where he makes contact with the previous Avatar, Avatar Genji. Then, once he appears, Naruto has a question for him. Is there anyone in the Stone Kingdom that you would recommend for me to train under? Well, let's see. My master was my grandfather, but he died long ago. I had many friends, but they all were inventors, not really warriors. And Genji then sits in thought for just a moment before telling Naruto to head underground. Under the city should live the badger moles that he can study under. Naruto thanks the Avatar and goes to tell his team. They wish him luck as he heads there alone. It takes him some time to find his way down, but he eventually does. It's pitch black in these abandoned tunnels, but he uses his own flames to light his way. Naruto continues to walk around for days, as this is when he comes across the creatures that were blind. Naruto watches them move around and begins to mimic their movements, not knowing what else to do, and he wouldn't return to the group until 4 months later, having mastered earth and waterbending in this time. Suigetsu would note how much he's improved. Now they just needed to meet with the king and have him align himself with the other elemental countries. Naruto then gets a meeting with him, and now all they had to do was just prepare for the end of this war. This should be easy, as I have no one to truly worry about in the Fire Nation, besides the Konoha 12, Orochimaru and his soldiers that had different marks on their body that increased their power, advanced fire soldiers, and Danzo himself. Nothing else should be a problem for them at all. While in preparation for the war, Team Avatar is then approached by a man, Jiraiya, a retired general of the Fire Nation. He wishes to train Naruto, and the Avatar accepts. The two would go to a hill where he explains he learned how to redirect lightning. Most adept firebenders could already use the cold flames, but only a select few could redirect them and bend them to their will. This was a technique made by the ancestor of Jiraiya, General Iroh. Naruto thanks the man, and 2 more months would pass until each elemental nation is ready. Each nation then gets started, as a real battle began on the Fire Nation capital. It was heavily guarded but was taken down easily by the Earth and Air nations. Once word of this gets to Danzo, he prepares the Fire Nation for the war. A couple days later, another major support city was hit. The Fire Nation soldiers turned their heads, only seeing one person stand there. Firebenders appear from the rooftop as an earth wall rises to block their flames, and each piece of the wall is then shot forward, taking down the men on the roofs. Naruto then flips towards the firebenders, and in the middle, he used the water from a fountain to freeze them. So, the traitor shows himself once again. Neji and the rest of the Hyuga clan walks from the shadows, getting in a stance. You know, Naruto, I looked up to you as our leader of the Konoha 12, but I was mistaken. You're a coward, and you must die for that. You've also said it yourself. The Fire Nation does not need weaklings. It's funny you say that, Neji, because it's a shock to me. You're still considered a part of the Fire Nation. Naruto shoots flames towards Neji, but he splits them on the ground around his body. From the side, he would be hit with a strong wind. Airbenders and earthbenders would appear from the shadows supporting Naruto, who rushed in towards Neji. The two traded flames, with Naruto dodging most of his strikes. However, his clan descended from a chi blocker, and he's trying to stop Naruto's ability in bending. Naruto blocks his next attack, and he knees Neji through a rock. Naruto then begins to overwhelm his opponent with his strength. Neji would be on the ground, and Naruto looks down at him. Go on, finish it. You shouldn't be scared to do so, as you've done so to Kiba and many other before. As Neji says this, he could see Rock Lee behind Naruto. And as Rock Lee goes to strike Naruto, Killer Bee blocks the attack and pushes him back. You okay, Naruto? Yeah, I'm fine. Handle him for me. Killer Bee nods and dashes in towards Rock Lee, and Neji would scoff. So, you would kill me, wouldn't you? Naruto sighs. That was the old me. Neji then grabs some dirt, trying to throw it towards Naruto to block his vision for only a moment, but flames would then consume his body. However, if you push me to do so, I will not hesitate to do what it takes to save this world. Naruto looks back on to see what's going on behind him, and throws his hood back over his head. Leave the civilians. Let's move. The small army pushes forward, and soon arrived not too far away from the Fire Nation. The wall stood high, and the soldiers seemed to be on guard, and even nervous. Temari, Killer Bee, Suigetsu would all stand beside Naruto. So this is it. Yeah, everything we've done is for these final moments. So let's not waste our chance. Sasuke would be seen sitting back in the palace alone, awaiting the arrival of battle. Days go by, and as the sun begins to set, the attack begins. Since firebenders were weaker at night, this was perfect. Ships from all directions began to drop soldiers into the village. In the palace, only two of them would drop from the air. Naruto and Temari stand ready to take down Sasuke, who now seemed to have a curse mark on his body that turned his flames black and red. As their fight was about to begin, Sakura Haruno showed up as well. Well, let's make this a 2-on-2. Naruto then rushes forward, and as the two talk, they would also clash back and forth. The black and red flames catch Naruto off guard, causing him to put up a wall of metal and earth. Tell me something, Naruto. You've come to kill Danzo, haven't you? Sorry to upset you, but he died long ago by Orochimaru, who fled from our nation. This would come as a shock to Naruto, who pushes the defense barrier towards his opponent. Sasuke flips over and jumps forward, propelling himself with flames at Naruto. You think just because you're the Avatar, it makes you stronger than me. I've always been a better fighter than you. Sasuke kicks Naruto in the stomach, then grabs his arm. He then tosses our protagonist over his shoulder, sending him into a pillar. Naruto gets back up smiling. You still think, just like a child. Naruto boosts back into battle with his own flames and lands a strike to his opponent's stomach and then an uppercut. Naruto watches on as Sasuke's body lands against another pillar and he lays there. You know, you don't even know how to take what you dish out. It's really over. Naruto then turns his head, watching the final moments between Sakura and Temari. Sakura tells Temari to then back off, and Tamari's rage alone allows her to counter each of her moves. She fights with passion and fury, as she knows who this girl is. This is the girl that killed her elder brother. And then, Sakura was left on the ground, wondering what to do, as she was defeated. Temari asked her, just to confirm, and she smirks, telling the girl to go to hell. Temari then glares down at Sakura and begins to airbend the oxygen from her lungs, slowly killing her, but Naruto shouts for her to stop. This isn't the way of the air nomads, as she should stand justice before their court. This isn't how her brother would want to be avenged. Hearing that causes memories to go through her head. This also causes her to stop, and Sakura to smirk. Just another weakling bender. Her mouth would have been sealed shut by ice, and Naruto walks over to Temari, who doesn't turn to him. Sakura then looked behind the two of them and flipped away. Temari would then see lightning coming from behind Naruto. It was a lightning dragon. Using all 5 fingers, Sasuke would do so, and it rips through the ground heading towards them. Naruto kicks Temari away, already sensing this attack using seismic sense. And he smiles. The dragon then follows his fingers around his body as he makes a perfect circle, and Sasuke watches on intensely before his own final attack unleashes upon himself. Naruto turns his head so he doesn't have to see Sasuke's final expression as his body is turned to nothing but ash. Naruto stands up in the same position for many moments as tears would fill his eyes. The two then look around as they're surrounded, and Temari begins to get ready for battle, but she falls to one knee as she's completely exhausted from her previous battle. Naruto then knocks her out, laying her down in a safe place. So this is what's left of the Royal Guard and the Konoha 12. Pitiful. Naruto looks back where Sasuke used to be standing. You know, I've realized something. This whole time, I've tried to be a humble and even peaceful avatar, as I thought that is what the world needed. But what this continent really needed was a warrior. Naruto's eyes and whiskers light up for only a moment as he jumps into action. When Temari wakes up, she was found by Suigetsu and Killer Bee. She's asked where Naruto was, but even she doesn't know. They only see the bodies that are scattered around the Fire Nation and this battlefield. Each kill was more brutal than the last. Each member of the resistance army looked for the Avatar, but his presence had completely vanished. He left the world to create true peace. The legendary battle of Avatar Naruto spread across the nations, with many not believing it and believing it only to be a myth and a wise tale. The only ones who believed it are the ones who knew Avatar Naruto personally. Almost an entire year later, we follow a hooded figure walking around in the harsh rain. He stops walking and looks to his left to see a child abandoned. Damn, another one, huh? This taller man picks up the child and brings him to a town in the land of fire. As they walk through, the child wakes up seeing the scars on the man's body. For some reason, they weren't scared at all and felt comfort in this person, even if they didn't know them. The man stops walking and would knock on the door of a building. 2 people open and see the child in the man's arms. It's been a while, Naruto. Tsunade and Jiraiya look towards the taller teen who takes off his hood, stepping in. Will you take care of this one as well? Tsunade nods, saying it's their job. Jiraiya then looks at the condition of a once great warrior. When's the last time you slept, kid? Oh, I don't know. I've been moving a lot recently. There's no time for me to sleep, especially with the corrupt soldiers still out in the world. Then why don't you rest here for a couple days? Just because you're the Avatar doesn't mean you have to do this alone. The rest of the world is now at peace because of you. You should at least let yourself rest and enjoy the peace that you helped create. You might die from exhaustion. That's where you're wrong, Pervy Sage. I'm no Avatar. I'm just a firebending warrior, starving for battle that will never come. Death is my only destination, and until I reach it, there is no stopping. Once I die, the world will have a new, even better Avatar. So it's a win-win situation, any way you look at it. Naruto, you can't just work yourself to death. Whatever. I'll see you around, Pervy Sage. Oh yeah. And by the way, if you ever do find my dead body, don't waste your time on a funeral for scum like me who don't deserve it. As Naruto opens the door again, The boy, the boy is saved from the rain, then runs up to him and hugs his leg. I heard him say it. You're the Avatar. You're Avatar Naruto, the hero of the Fourth Great War, savior of the great elemental nations. Naruto then leans down to the child, and he ruffles up his hair. Sorry to get your hopes up, kid, but that man has long left this body. Nothing of the Avatar remains here at all. He then leaves the town, and as he walks through the rain, Naruto pulls out something from his pocket and lights it in the palms of his hands with his firebending. He inhales the smoke slowly and blows it out while walking. Damn, I really can't remember the last time I was able to wield all of the elements. Another headache. Oh yeah, it was that day when I ran into that man. That was the last day. This is where we enter a flashback of a battle that happened many months earlier. As Naruto was traveling, hunting down those from the Fire Nation he came across, he would run into the last known Uchiha, Itachi. After learning of his brother's death, Itachi went into a rampage. Naruto was being pushed back even with all of the elements at his aid. He had been fighting for weeks straight, so his body was sore and needed food. He just had to hold out a little longer and beat this one opponent. He was then caught in a hypnotic trance. This is basically a genjutsu, but in this world, Kekkei Genkai do not exist. Naruto looks around, seeing his dead comrades and all the innocents he's killed. Even his old friends were there. They surrounded Naruto, calling him a failure, a traitor, and any name that would cause pain and disheartening to his heart. Naruto then fell to the ground in agony, finding it hard to breathe. The weight of his sins seemed to be truly crushing him, not only physically, but mentally as well. Itachi kept this hypnotic trance going on for days, until Naruto was incapacitated. He laid on the ground for what seemed like weeks, until he was found by Jiraiya and Tsunade. He wakes up in a cold sweat, panicking and attacking everything around him. Naruto was in a hospital for days after this, until his condition seemed stable. Each time he closed his eyes, he could see them. He could also hear the words from his so-called allies, past foes, victims, just taunting him. Naruto tries to push Jiraiya back with airbending, but nothing leaves his fist. This shocks the two of them, and Naruto jumps out of the window, trying to glide with airbending, but nothing happens. He then slowly falls and hits the ground hard. He runs around and steals clothes, before running out of the town and vanishing. As he would soon figure out, he's lost control of every element but fire. His rage and sadness fueled his blue flames, and he once again became the blue demon after returning to the land of wind, to eventually find his mask buried under inches of sand. This would be the end of the flashback. Naruto lays against a tree, blowing out the smoke while avoiding some of the cold rain. His eyes closed for only a moment as he saw Sasuke, causing him to sit up immediately. This is when he sees men in black and red robes ahead of him. So you found me once again. Wow, let's make this quick. I feel like closing my eyes a little today. This fight echoes throughout the forest for minutes, but was quickly over as blood was seen all over the area and on the hands of Naruto. Not bad for me. Something then appears before Naruto. It's an older woman who seemed to be in about her 30s. Then another, but each of them seemed different. Naruto gets a flashback to one of the avatars, realizing he's met these women. They're spirits, but he knows them. He just can't remember their names, as he's lost connection to his past lives as well. Naruto tried to follow them, but fell to the ground. Without even trying, he passed out. Naruto woke up, not on land, but in water. He sits up in a shallow river, noticing the creatures around him. They weren't really animals, but a mixture of different types of animals. Naruto had never seen them before. As he sits up, he tries to figure out where he is, even asking the creatures, where am I? They begin to talk, but their voices couldn't be heard by Naruto. It's as if they spoke a completely different native tongue. They only pointed across the forest to the land being destroyed by the same men in robes who were led by Danzo and Orochimaru. Naruto wakes up on the ground, wondering what that was. So he meditated, but no avatar appeared before him. Damn it, just work for once. Just appear. Where the hell are you? You say I'm the avatar. You told me, but when I call for you, you do not. You do not heed my words at all. Naruto keeps trying but can't summon any of the avatars, as this causes him to head to the edge of the world. He stands before a cliff, thinking, maybe I'll go apologize to them myself. Naruto jumps off the cliff into the raging water below and lets himself sink. So, this is what death feels like. Slow and empty. I'm sorry I made so many of you endure this hell. Naruto closes his eyes, and for a moment, it feels like he's truly passing on. But instead, the avatar state awakens within him. He's seen lifted above the water, creating an earth pillar to land upon. Naruto then falls to one knee, cursing his powers. Just let me die already. Another voice is then heard. Man, you really do hate being the avatar. Even more than me when I first found out. Naruto looks up, seeing Avatar Aang. Why didn't you help me when I called out to you? It's because you severed our connection. By giving up the element of air, you lost contact with me and many other avatars of each element. Naruto then asked why he couldn't summon Avatar Roku since they had the same element. But Aang explains it's much more complicated than that. Your body has reverted back to how it originally used to be before you found out you were the Avatar. Why have you suppressed your power? I didn't. I've been trying to use the elements for so long, but it's not working. It seems you can't do this alone. Naruto, you need help. Your power as an avatar has diminished, and the spirit world is in need of you. The spirit world? Yes. As the avatar, you have a job to balance both worlds, but you must first come to terms with the avatar that you wish to be. You must make peace with yourself. Naruto looks towards Aang, and he vanishes, leaving him with only that. Naruto would reach out, but it does nothing. Days later, as Jiraiya was taking out the trash, he could hear a voice. I need your help. He turned, seeing Naruto stand against the wall while smoking. With what I've taught you, you shouldn't need any more of my fighting techniques. No. I need help to make peace. This shocks Jiraiya, who then takes Naruto to Mount Miyaboku after telling Tsunade that he's leaving. The spirit toads then consult Naruto for hours before returning to Jiraiya. Fukasaku then speaks. Jiraiya boy, that kid's heart is clouded with darkness. It's gonna take a whole lot of work for us to get him back to this normal state you speak of. I see. Do you know what's wrong with him? He's facing an immense psychological barrier and warfare within his mind. This is preventing him from utilizing any of the other elements. We could unblock it with force, but that could permanently damage him. Going to the Water Tribe may prove to be even better, if they could use one of their healing techniques on him. Jiraiya nods and presents this idea to Naruto. But Naruto says he'll figure it out in his own way. I put myself in this mess, so it's my job to figure it out. Naruto continues to meditate, but each time he does so, he can only see the visions of his dead friends and hears his voices. but he also sees the visions of a spirit world, and each time one of the spirits are attacked, it hurts his own soul for some reason. Jiraiya could see this, and would leave Naruto in Mount Miyaboku, going to find others who could possibly help Naruto, and restore him to the person that he used to be. Naruto was so deep into his training, he wouldn't even notice that his master had left him. Fukasaku helps Naruto meditate, and they slowly make progress. But this isn't enough. The spirit world was in danger right now, and Naruto knew that. Fukasaku takes Naruto into a cave where he would meditate with him once again. He helps guide Naruto through his troubles. As we see Naruto surrounded by the spirits of everyone that he's killed, he begins to panic listening to their voices, but also hears the voice of the toad. Naruto, calm your spirit, calm your mind. They only exist here because you allow them to. Forgive yourself for what you have done. You cannot change the past, but you can alter the future. Naruto looks forward, seeing Sasuke stand right before him, as it still causes Naruto to break his meditation, and he looks down at his own hands and sighs. Damn it all! Naruto gets back into a meditative state and looks forward at his fallen foes once again. What do you want from me? They are silent as they only berate Naruto with comments that tear down his mental state even more. Naruto is then forced from this realm and wakes up in reality. He looks back to see Fukasaku shaking his head. This is no good. Maybe you do need to do it your own way. Maybe making contact with an avatar will help you. I don't know if I can. Just try and see. Naruto would try. And somehow an avatar appears. It's a new avatar who Naruto has never seen before. But he still asks for help. Tell me what I need to do to fix myself. How do I cope with the death that I've caused? What do you mean, cope? You wish to forget about it? It is not that simple, Naruto. You must accept what you've done, live with it, and let it guide you. Your problem is you're trying to separate yourself into two people. You believe that Avatar Naruto and Naruto Uzumaki are two separate beings, when in fact they are one of the same, two sides of the same coin, but still the same coin. You're trying to become something that you are not. You wish to become like the mighty avatars before you. I've watched you for a while, and I know that. You fight more aggressively than even Avatar Kyoshi. You keep fighting yourself, but you need to embrace the person that you are, and the avatar that you wish to become. You are the Avatar Naruto. Have faith in yourself. Naruto sits there for a moment, taking in everything that was said to him. He looks up, and the avatar in front of him was fading fast. You must stop them in the spirit world, Naruto. But wait, who are you? Oh, just call me Juan, kid. I was the first avatar. Naruto looks up in shock. And once the avatar vanishes, he meditates once again. This time, focusing even harder. We cut over to about a day later, when Jiraiya returns to Mount Miyaboku with Team Avatar. Alright, now understand you all may be upset at him, but take it easy a little bit. He's in a vulnerable state. He still should be meditating right now as he's done so for many weeks. Then, they head over to the cave, but before they could get close, Fukasaku is seen jumping out, narrowly avoiding the blue flames that shot out from the inside. Tamari angrily turns to Jiraiya. Vulnerable, right? She then heads in with the rest of Team Avatar as they watch as Naruto throws a punch and shoots out flames. He then stomps the ground, causing an earth spike to go up. He would run on it and then shoots air at the puddle of water below him and uses that water that is in the air to create an ice slide, allowing him to skid on the ground easily. Naruto constantly uses each element, somehow being stronger than he was when he first learned them. And when he stops, He turns to see Team Avatar, sensing them with seismic sense as they would run over to him. Naruto hugs them, but they would also begin to scold him, and he apologizes for leaving the world. Temari would slap him in the face. I was worried about you. Yeah, I was worried about you too. I knew you'd be mad at me. But I still have to go. I need to save the spirit world, as well as take down the Fire Lord, because he's somehow there with Orochimaru and many others. Hearing this shocked Jiraiya and Fukasaku, as they would ask Naruto if he was sure, but Naruto states he's had the visions. Well then, since we are running low on time, how about we make sure we train here for a while? And this is a perfect place for it. Here the elements are very potent, and you'll be able to do things you thought were impossible. Naruto looks towards them and smiles. Team Avatar is finally back. Months would pass, and in the spirit world, animals were being driven from their land. The Akatsuki members are then blocked off by a giant wall of ice that would appear. Sasori and Deidara are then confused by this, until Sasori is cut down by Killer Bee. Deidara looks back, and he uses airbending towards that direction, but is deflected by Temari. What the hell? Where did you all come from? Deidara is then frozen by Suigetsu. Team Avatar then looks to Naruto, who is kneeling to the spirits. He talked with them for a bit, but then they motion for Naruto to follow them. Team Avatar is guided by the spirits and are led to Jinora and Iki. Seeing Naruto, they would smile. So you made it, Avatar. No thanks to you two. We can discuss that later. Danzo and the Akatsuki are trying to release the dark spirit, and we can't let that happen. They've already made great progress, but you came just in time to stop them. Since they are human, they have limitations. The spirits here found many ways to combat them. Good. Now we have something to work with. However, I want the spirits to remain in peace. So after this, I'll be blocking off all connections from this world to our own. I think each should have their own sanction of peace. Jinora nods and explains where they would be heading. But as she talks, Naruto hears a loud roar, causing him to turn. What was that? He looks at everyone's faces, noticing they didn't hear it at all. Alright everyone, are you ready to head out? They nod, as this will be the final battle with no second chances. Yeah, I'll meet you all there. Jinora was shocked by this, asking Naruto what he means, but he says he can hear something calling to him. Iki says she'll go with the Avatar and meet them there as fast as possible. The two head away and make it to a cave. She tells him that she's been here before and there's nothing inside, but Naruto says there is. The two then look forward as Naruto would push her out of the way, and the crimson red flames burst around his body. She yells out no and reaches out to airbend but stops. The red flames almost become transparent as she could see Naruto standing inside. This was from her grandfather's book, The Judgment of the Flames of the Dragons. An orange dragon with the red eyes then emerged from the cage, getting closer and closer to Naruto. It was you who I heard, was it not? You called me here to judge me as the Avatar. The dragon begins flying around the cliff, and Naruto's body would move on instinct. He performed the dragon dance with his blue flames, as the dragon as well used its own red flames. The two at the end would clash, seeming to be equal, as Iki had no words for what was going on at all. The dragon then bowed to Naruto, who would ask, "Will you help me fight?" The beast nodded, and Naruto hopped on his back. He held out his hands to Iki, who jumped on, excited as ever. Well, what are you going to name him? The dragon then turned curiously, wondering the name he could have. One name instantly shot into the mind of Naruto. How about Kurama? The dragon then took off with a smile, enjoying the thought of this name. The battle now had began, and the spirits were pushing back the Akatsuki. But they seemed to be getting very close to the prison that Vatsu was held in. And since they were so close, Vatsu used its own power to empower them. Just when it seemed the group was at a stalemate, blue and red flames swirled into the ground, incinerating many of them. Naruto and Ikki jumped from the back of the dragon, landing on the ground, as Danzo would smirk. "My false son has arrived. How dare you face me again? Even if you do not believe I am your son, I still believe so. I bear the sin that comes with being related to you. That is why I will be the one to defeat you." Naruto runs forward with Team Avatar behind him and many other spirits. He jumps towards the crowd, separating them with airbending, as Suigetsu takes on Kisame, dodging his blade, and then bending water to his leg, freezing it. Kisame, then, has to block the blades of Killer Bee, but he isn't able to do so, and is slashed right across his chest. Surprisingly, he uses waterbending to heal himself, but Suigetsu knows this battle is important. So, for a moment, he bloodbends Kisame to his knees, allowing Killer Bee to cut off his head with one slice. Temari jumps forward towards Hidan and Kakuzu. Their flames didn't even compare to Naruto on his worst days. She gracefully dodged each one of them and cut them down with her airbending. Jinora would come to her aid and traps them in a wind bubble. This fear of torture then crushes their bones with the wind pressure. Seeing this type of aggressiveness shocked Temari. "I thought we were passive." Jinora then puts her hands on his shoulder. "We have adapted to the way of the air nomads in the spirit world. We must protect ourselves." Temari nods, asking to be taught that later. The two would smile, as Naruto and Ikki stood back to back, taking down the rest of the Akatsuki members. Now all that was left was Danzo. Naruto propelled himself forward and ripped off his shirt, as Danzo would do the same. Suigetsu goes to jump in, but is stopped by Temari. "You cannot interrupt this." It's a final Agni Kai. Naruto pulls back his fist, allowing the flames to leave. They release high and wide. Danzo isn't able to block, so he dodges. He shoots his own flames towards Naruto, but he just tanks it. "How did you?" Naruto then appears behind Danzo, flash tapping, striking him in the side, and then his face. Naruto then kicks him to the ground and breaks his arm. Danzo would flip back quickly. It's not over yet. Itachi appears next to him, and Naruto would fall right back under the hypnotic trance. The two go to finish off Naruto, but hear him laughing. It's funny. I still do hear their voices. Everyone, actually. But it isn't what they used to say. I've overcome all of my failures. Naruto stands up, with the whiskers on his face. Now, shooting 6 beams of combustion that destroy Orochimaru, Danzo, and Itachi. Naruto looks back, now at the evil spirit Vatsu. As long as the Avatar exists, you will never be freed, and even if you are, I will come back and seal you. Vatsu begins laughing, cursing the Avatar, as once he is freed, he'll make sure to rip every past life from Naruto once again. Naruto waves this off, telling him he can dream about it, as he'll have a long time to think. Team Avatar then stays for only a couple days, as they would begin to leave the spirit world. Kurama would decide to come with them, and as they return, he transforms back into a smaller dragon, since he did age quite a bit in the spirit world. But this would be no problem at all. Naruto then decides to rest within the Earth Kingdom with Temari, since it was his favorite out of the great nations, as it had the most peace. As this is where the story of Avatar Naruto would conclude. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took me a pretty long time to record it, but I did enjoy every part of it, and going back and editing each part and then listening to it myself before actually putting it out. I know a lot of people love the Avatar The Last Airbender series, and I think I did it justice. with what few cameos I wanted to have. I wanted Naruto to start off on the wrong side, and I wanted that to conflict him throughout the story. I didn't want the war to be the final arc, no. I wanted to go into the spirit world, as there were many other characters I feel like we could have involved, and I did. Plus, I think that it was just a good contrast for Naruto to go through his own journey like this as the Avatar, where he completely loses himself and reverts back to his old ways. Each battle against the Fire Nation was supposed to represent him completely destroying his old self and life. I'd appreciate it if you all left a like and even consider subscribing so you don't miss out on videos like this when they drop on my channel in the future. Anyway, it's Zero, and I hope to see you all on the next one.